Talib, and Zainab married the son of Ja'far ibn Abi Talib as well, Abdullah. So Imam Ali's been narrated, he said that my daughters will marry the sons of my brother. I mean, I can go on regarding the history. I'll just stop there. But if the sister wants more information regarding this issue, then please do email us at women'sview@ahlulbayt.tv. I mean, let's carry on in our discussion today, but I hope that's answered your question. And if you want more information, then please do email in. Sister Nazi, if you would like to carry on about how these misconceptions come about.
Yeah, so what happens is, first of all, people out of ignorance, they do not tend to investigate or research. Now, research is something which is highly recommended by Allah Himself in the Quran, that you must research, do tahqiq. Because just listening to somebody, quoting somebody, you can't just believe it. You have to find out for yourself what the person has quoted. Is it really true? Or what the person is associating with the family of the Prophet. Did it really happen 1400 years ago? Now, you've got loads of information around you. But then again, you have to find out if it's authentic or reliable, or is it just a fabricated hadith quoted by somebody because of materialistic desires or to get hold of worldly possessions. So research is the most important thing. Second thing is doing comparative study between all the schools of thought, and then finding out what topics are something discussed by everyone, and then come to a conclusion. Second, obviously, you must always reflect on the interpretations of the Quran, plus the hadiths or the narrations quoted by the Prophet and the Imams and their companions.
Yeah.
If you keep all of these things in perspective, then you will come to a conclusion, and you can easily distinguish whether the piece of information you have been bombarded with, is it really true, or is it something that's just been going around as a scandal or a rumor?
That's definitely true.
I mean, just continuing from what the sister is saying, there are many narrators out there who are, misinterpreting the whole Shia Islam. And they're coming up with a lot of facts, from their opinion, a lot of facts, but they're not facts. They're probably their opinions, or it's a lot of misunderstanding, which is causing a lot of problems.
That's definitely true. I mean, like you lot described it beautifully, that these misconceptions really come about because of lack of education, lack of understanding, and to be honest, lack of dialogue as well within the other school of thought. So now going to the Battle of Karbala, I mean, as is the month of Muharram, and it's a time where many people attack the Shia school of thought, and especially the way we mourn the month of Muharram, they say, a lot of misconceptions come forward. I mean, what are some of the misconceptions in regards to the Battle of Karbala? And secondly, how do we refute them? But first of all, going to the misconceptions.
When you focus on the event of Karbala and what led to the whole battle, first of all, the biggest misconception some people tend to have is that it was a battle between two groups and they were fighting over wealth and power. That is not true. Yes, we can say that Yazid was after wealth and power, Ibn Ziyad was interested in the material gains of the world, but you cannot say the same thing for the grandson of the Prophet of Islam. He has been given the status of the master of all youth in paradise. The worldly possession or power has no meaning for him or his family members. The reason he went to Karbala all the way from Medina was because he was receiving thousands of letters from the people residing in Kufa and other areas who have been suffering for a really long time by the tyrant of that time, Yazid and Ibn Ziyad. Now, the last letter that he received was from a man who said that we are left in the middle of such oppressive environment, and without a leader, without a guide, without a hadi. We need you to come and help us and save us and protect us from the great tyrant of the time. So Imam, with his whole family and his companions, came to the land of Karbala. Now Yazid wanted Imam Hussain to give him oath of allegiance. Now Imam Hussain obviously would not give oath and allegiance to a man who was not only standing and opposing Islam and ridiculing the Prophet of Islam and going against the teachings, and he was a tyrant and an oppressor, so obviously he wouldn't give him the oath of allegiance. So Imam Hussain was given a choice. You either give me the oath of allegiance or you give me your head. So obviously the Prophet and his family were sent down to this planet, to this world, for a reason, to guide us, to save us, to be a role model for us. They would never bow down in front of a tyrant. So they opposed him through their behavior, their actions. The Prophet and his family we're sent down to this planet, to this world, for a reason, to guide us, to save us, to be a role model for us. They would never bow down in front of a tyrant. So they opposed him through their behavior, their actions, and obviously they were martyred on the 10th of Muharram, which is known as Ashura, and we still remember that day. We commemorate Ashura because this is something which our Prophet cried over, his daughter Fatima Zahra cried, even the angel Jibreel alayhi salam shed tears when he heard that how brutally Imam Hussein and his children and companions will be slaughtered in the soil of Karbala. So we are doing exactly what they did. So I can't see the reason why it is bid'at or haram or wrong to cry for somebody you really love and respect, for somebody who gave away his everything 1400 years ago for the sake of saving Islam.
That's true, definitely true. Salma, do you have anything else?
It is said by many that Shia, it was a Shia Muslim from Kufa who actually killed Imam Hussein. Now, you know, every year we commemorate for Imam Hussein. We sort of have this 10 days, and we make an effort to go to mosque, and we do, you know, we do matam for Imam Hussein. We have these majalises going on every morning, every night, and we have this very serious thing going on where we don't try and celebrate, or we don't want, you know, have a little bit of a happiness. You know, why would we Shias do so much for Imam Hussein if we're the ones who actually killed Imam Hussein? That is something that is, it doesn't make sense. It's very contradicting, and there's a big clash to that. I mean, naturally and logically, if we Shias killed Imam Hussein and, you know, we had no connection to Imam Hussein, then there is no reason to why we would put such an effort into doing the things that we do every year. You know, there's like millions and millions of individuals going to Karbala just to be there for Imam Hussein, and to get the opportunity to sort of, you know, say to him that we are his slave and we do remember him. You know, it happens every year, and every year it's getting better and better, because there's, you know, a lot of Muslims every year try and make it to the whole you know, try and make the whole commemoration more you know, more tragic for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, why do we do such a thing? Because obviously we have this thing with for Imam Hussein, we have this connection with Imam Hussein. So it wasn't a Shia Muslim from Kufa who actually killed Imam Hussein.
Definitely, I mean, I've heard that many times as well. People, especially when I used to go to an educational institute where there weren't many Shias, and there was, you know, a lot of people from different schools of thought. So we got challenged a lot regarding these issues, and one of the issues were that they said, you know, why do you mourn every year when it was you Shia that killed Imam Hussein, which obviously can be refuted within, if you look at within history books and stuff. Do you have anything else?
I would just like to briefly say something about the term Shia itself. There are people out there who tend to think that we have deviated from the right path and we have made a group called Shias and we are not practicing Islam, and this is something we have invented, or it's an innovation. The term Shia means follower of a party or a group. Now, we follow the Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And the term Shia has not been used for the first time by us. It's something which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used in the Quran. When you come across this ayat in the Quran of chapter 37, verse 83, it says, "And most surely Hazrat Ibrahim was among the Shia of him. And he, Moses, went into the city at a time when people of the city were not watching. So he found therein two men fighting, one being of his Shia and the other being his enemy. And the one who was of his Shia cried out to him for help against the one who was of his enemy." This is again a verse from the Quran. The Shia is an official word used by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. And another ayat in the Quran says that, "And we made of them imams to guide by our command when they were patient and they were certain of our communications." So it's like Allah is continuously reminding us that there have been imams that have been appointed by Allah for us, for our guidance. So obviously it's common sense that when you're following somebody, you automatically become a follower of that person. And you wouldn't follow somebody who is lost himself, but obviously you'll follow somebody who has been rightly guided by Allah himself.
That's definitely true. We'll come back to the word of Shia. We have to go off a break because it's approaching prayer time. But inshallah we'll come back and explain the word Shia more and other issues. We're going off for prayer time, inshallah. In London time, it's now time to pray. So inshallah, we'll be off for 20 minutes. Please do join us after the break with more discussions about the misconceptions regarding Shia, with the special phone call by Siddiqa Najafi, and also the VT by Diary Journal by Dr. Fatma Jami. So please do remember us in your prayers, and remember the team and all the Muslims around the world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, and welcome to Women's View on Ahlul Bayt TV. This is the Women's View Muharram special live here at Ahlul Bayt TV. Now, if you were tuned in before the break, you would have seen now today's topic is refuting the misconceptions about Shia Islam. We had some really interesting discussion before the break. We had callers calling in. My sister asked about Kulthum being married to Omar, and as we gave you references and historical evidence proving that she did not in fact marry Omar, and in fact Omar married another Kulthum, and we told you, and we've explained that before the break. Also, we discussed other misconceptions about Shia Islam, and also misconceptions about Karbala in specific. So we had a really nice, interesting discussion before Salah break, but now inshallah we'll be discussing more of that in detail. Once again, I want to remind you all that this is a live call-in show. So if you would like to call in with your views or opinions, then you can call in with the number on the screen. Alternatively, you can email us at womensview@ahlulbayt.tv. That's womensview@ahlulbayt.tv. Inshallah, I'll get your email in today's show and read it out during the show. Also, some of your comments are being shown at the bottom of the screen, I'm being told, so you can read those comments in and out the show. Now, before I go back to our topic, I would like to first send my condolences to you all and to Imam Mehdi Ajullah Ta'ala Faraja on the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussein, and for the next coming days, commemorating his martyrdom on the next coming days. And so going back to our topic, today's topic is refuting the misconceptions about Shia Islam. I'm your host Zahra Al-Alawi, and today with me is Sister Nazia Hussain. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
And Sister Salma Jafar. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Now, I truly believe that during this time we should really talk about misconceptions within Shia, misconceptions brought against Shia Islam, because this is an issue we should really discuss. It's an issue which is usually misunderstood, and many people do not understand our school of thought because they believe this. And I believe that during Muharram, Imam al-Hussein came to bring the religion of the Prophet and bring the religion to Islam. So we should really tackle these misconceptions and bring forward the right Islam. So for the break, Nazia explained very, very beautifully about the meaning of the word Shia. Because many people say, Shia, are you deviating away from the mainstream Islam? And you brought quite beautifully the meaning of the word Shia and how that came about. I don't know if you would like to continue and adding on.
Yes, just to continue with what the sister said. If we go back to the very last moments of Imam Hussein, when he was actually on the ground, struck within many arrows, and one of the individual from the opposing army shouted out saying, "Is he alive or is he dead?" Because obviously they didn't know whether he was actually alive or dead. And what happened is the leader of that army, Shimr bin Joshin, he said, if you really want to find out if he's alive or dead, why don't you move forward and shout out that we will be attacking the women now? Because obviously the true warrior will not stay lying on the ground. He would actually do whatever he can to go and protect the women. And the narrations tell us that after that he tried to sort of stand up, and he fell, and he tried again, and he fell. And before he was actually dead, he said,